Hello everyone. I am, it feels so weird when I try to think of this room as a stage where I'll have to deliver my TED talk. But what else is weird? The human civilization, as we know it, is around 6,000 years old. Yet my fellow mates, including me, have to talk about courage, compassion, faith, acceptance on a platform which can bring about tremendous changes in the fields of technology, defense, education, etc. We are in such a phase where we need to learn about feelings, which is one of the most important things which differentiates us from machines. So, why is it too hard to act like civilized beings? First of all, here's some difference between sexual identity and sexual orientation. Sexual identity is when people choose to identify or disidentify with the sex which was assigned to them at the time of their birth. Whereas sexual orientation is simply the attraction which a person feels towards another. So, if a person is attracted towards someone from the same sex, the person would be called a homosexual. If a person is attracted towards someone from the opposite sex, the person would be called a heterosexual. If a person is attracted towards someone regardless of the sex and gender, the person would be called a bi or a pansexual. The lack of sexual attraction is also called asexuality. Sexual orientations like pansexuality, sapiosexuality are equally important and genuine, which I hope we all will be able to learn more about in the near future. So, how hard was that to understand? But no, blessed with immense curiosity and the sense of superiority, we decided to establish the laws of nature. It's like criminals amending the constitution. Oh, wait, that does happen. As the number of humans increased, we thought that we are the only ones that control everything that happens on the planet. I definitely agree with the strict laws and punishments when one fails to obey them. But what if a law itself is the punishment for some? A part of the section 377 of the Indian Penal Code had criminalized sexual relations between people of the same sex, stating them as unnatural, which could lead to imprisonment for life. Fortunately, this part of the act was decriminalized on September 6, 2018. Still, countries like Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Saudi Arabia, Singapore, Indonesia, etc., consider it as a serious offense, and the punishments being heavy fines, lashes, life imprisonment, death penalty, as well as death by stoning. Death by stoning, it is what it sounds. A group of people throws stones at a person until the subject dies of blunt trauma. The number of countries considering homosexuality illegal is over 70. So let's not even talk about the statistics of same-sex marriage, which is surprisingly still illegal in our country too. The question which arises in many minds is how will the species grow if one isn't able to reproduce, or if everyone becomes a homosexual? Firstly, sexual orientation is not something one chooses. It's not a form which we have to get filled with our parents' consent. And secondly, reproduction, really, more humans would be the last thing our planet would want right now. They say even the divine powers are against such practices and that homosexuals are evil and corrupt. But they are the same people who say that success and talent are God gifted. Not that I don't have faith in these powers, but on seeing these images, you decide that had these people been corrupt and evil, how are they still able to make millions around them happy? And why are they still successful? They know that he was not normal. Bazinga, he doesn't care. He played the role of Sheldon Cooper on the hit series The Big Bang Theory, which aired for over 12 years, over 12 seasons. He has won over 21 awards, including 4 Emmy Awards. Media had a lot more interest in commenting on her sexual orientation rather than telling everyone about the glories which she gifted our country. Not a big deal, right? She's not a footballer, she's not a cricketer. She is Duti Chand, the first Indian athlete to come out. If this is not success, then what else is? He is the current CEO of Apple with a net worth of over $1.3 billion as of 2015. Allen was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is the highest civilian honor in the United States of America, by the former President Barack Obama. Her show has been running since 2003 and was renewed for 3 more seasons last year. Her show itself is famous for charity works. The show has donated over $50 million to various causes and organizations. We often say that we will help those who dare to come out and that we will treat them specially. Well, here's some news. They don't need any kind of help. And secondly, we don't even need to create a special environment of them when we can barely sustain ours. They just need to be accepted for who they are. Or maybe we just need to mind our own businesses. Our generation is so vulnerable that we are often considered homophobic. That is, people suffering from homophobia, which is the fear of being around a homosexual or the fear of being termed as one. Well, right now, most of us would be convincing ourselves that no, I'm not a homophobic person. But can you justify that why do we suddenly feel extremely insulted when someone calls us homosexual? Why is it too hard to clarify our sexual orientation politely rather than getting offended? Maybe because we think that being a homosexual is an abuse itself. Many of us know what will happen if we say phrases like I love you or I'm lucky to have you to our friends, even though we mean it. Most of them would reply, no homo. So will creating cool slangs for a sick mentality make the issue any less serious? Another thing which I would like you all to know is there are no set of defined characteristics a homosexual person would exhibit. It is often said that a gay behaves in a feminine manner and that a lesbian behaves in a masculine manner. What are these feminine and masculine characteristics? Applying makeup and cooking is feminine, or being adventurous or liking sports is masculine? Why have we resorted ourselves to this disgusting binary classification in the 21st century when there is clearly so much diversity around us? We are not the only reasons for the rise of this hatred in India. The comments made by some extremely popular figures of our country are here as follows. I would like to quote their words without naming them. An influential minister said that homosexuality is dangerous to social morality. And what about rapists getting bailed? Isn't that dangerous? A member of the Indian Parliament said that legitimizing homosexuality leads to commercial profit since gay bars will be opened in all cities on foreign direct investment. Well, at least someone is talking about economics, right? Well, you can certainly guess this one. I invite the gay community to my yoga ashram and I guarantee to cure them of their homosexuality. Is the medicine called homonil as well? Only if the ashram could cure mentalities of some, including his. And a self-appointed religious leader said that generally and naturally, no human being can love someone from the same sex. It's not genetic. I would have definitely opted for biology and genetics had I known that it was so easy to understand and so less complicated to comment upon. I would like to conclude by asking every single person present here and would request you to ask the same to others. Would you still be friends with someone if he or she told you that he or she was a homosexual? Does your friend find you trustworthy enough that if he or she was struggling mentally or emotionally regarding his or her sexual orientation, could he confide in you without the fear of being judged? Can we see ourselves as parents or the elder generation who are okay with their kids or the younger generation being homosexual? For the teachers, can I as a teacher ensure that my students are properly taught about such topics and that the students are free to politely express their views and can confide in me if they feel like? For parents, can I as a parent ensure that my child knows that I love him or her no matter what, regardless of his or her sexual orientation? Last but certainly not the least, Can I, as a human, accept that they are humans too, and that love is love? See, every color in a rainbow is unique, and so is every person, and so is the purpose of that human. Homosexuality is not a disease, it's not a disorder, it's not the disability or any of the Ds. It's a truth which needs to be accepted. It's a truth which needs to be acknowledged, and it's a truth which needs to be embraced. Thank you.